Assalamu alaikum. Today the topic our discussion is the functional anatomy and some physiology of bone. In order to understand the rheumatology, we have to develop a brief concept about what is bone, what are the systems which are related to rheumatology. When we discuss about rheumatology, we first have to know what is basically bone. Bone is a part of our musculoskeletal system which is responsible for the movement of body. It also provides a structural framework to protect our internal organs and act as a reservoir for storage of calcium and phosphate for the regulation of mineral homeostasis. In order to classify the bones, we have different criteria on which we can divide the bone into different categories, but here we are only concerned about its embryological basis. When we talk about the types of bone on its embryological basis, we divide the bone in two types, that are the flat bones and the long bones. Flat bones are those bones in which there is not any kind of irregularities, they are just flat like our skull. Long bones are those which have more length as compared to our other bones of the body, in which we include femur, humerus, radius and all other bones which are long in our body. While concerning towards the flat bones, it ossifies by intramembranous ossification, whereas the long bones undergoes ossification by endochondral ossification. Bone tissue types. Two types of bone tissues are present in the normal skeleton, that are the cortical bone tissue or the trabecular or the cancellous bone tissue. What cortical bone is formed of? Cortical bone is formed of Haversian system, which comprises of concentric lamella of the bone tissues along with blood vessels and along with osteocytes. These are the three things that form the Haversian system. While when we look at the trabecular bone, what the trabecular bone is formed of or filled with, trabecular bone just fills the center of the bone and consists of an interconnecting meshwork of the trabeculi that are separated with spaces, and these spaces are filled with bone marrow. And as we know, bone marrow is mainly involved in the hematopoiesis. Now this is a bone. To this bone there is an attached muscle. This is the bone. It is its outer compartment or a cortical bone, and in between there is a trabecular bone, which is also referred to as a spongy bone. So what we have found in the cortical bone, this is a cut portion of the cortical bone. Cortical bone, as we have discussed, is consisting of Haversian system, which has blood vessels, collagen lamella or osteocytes. These are the osteocytes. These lines are showing the collagen lamella, and in between the Haversian system is a Haversian canal, which consists of blood vessels. Now turning towards the trabecular bone. What is trabecular bone? Trabecular bone is a spongy bone. It has various spaces which are filled with bone marrow. There are many most important cells in the bone, the most important of which are the osteoclast, osteoblast and osteocytes. While looking towards the osteoclast, what are basically osteoclast? These are multinucleated cells of hematopoietic in origin. What is their function? They are involved in bone resorption. Now osteoblast, what are basically osteoblasts? They are mononuclear cells derived from the merostromal cells and are involved in the bone formation. As I mentioned, osteoblasts are involved in the bone formation. Now looking towards the osteocytes, what are basically osteocytes? Osteocytes are the cells that differentiate from osteoblast that become embedded in the bone matrix during bone formation. They are responsible for sensing and responding to mechanical stimuli and for coordinating osteoclast and osteoblast activity. The main function of them is the coordination between the osteoclast and osteoblast activity. If the activity between the osteoclast and osteoblast is disturbed, it will result in bone disorders. Another important type of the cell, which are bone merostromal cells. What are these? They basically produce two factors, which are receptor activator of nuclear factor kappa B ligand, which is referred to as rank L or rankle, and the other factor is macrophage colony stimulating factor, which is also referred to as MCSF. What are their function? They both stimulate osteoclast formation and other cytokines. These both are involved in stimulation of osteoclast formation and other cytokines that support hematopoiesis. Now moving on further, what is bone remodeling? Bone remodeling, why we need bone remodeling? It is basically required for the renewal and repair of the skeleton throughout life. Whenever a person got fracture or a micro damage to the bone, what does happen? Our body has a mechanism which is bone remodeling, in order to regenerate, in order to fill that fracture, in order to repair that bone that is being damaged. What is this bone remodeling process? It is basically a cyclical process that has four phases. The one that is referred to is quiescence, the second one resorption, then reversal, and then formation. For this we have to understood it through a picture. This is a picture. In this there is a micro damage which is indicated in red, to the bone. What happens when there is a micro damage to the bone? Chemoprotective factors are released from this micro damage into the blood circulation, which causes the attraction of osteoblast precursors towards this bone. The osteoclasts start moving from the blood to the targeted site. How does the remodeling starts? Remodeling starts with the attraction of osteoclast precursors in the peripheral blood to the targeted site, probably by the local release of chemoprotective factors from the areas of this micro damage. The osteoclast which are attracted here start resolving bone, and after about 10 days they cause the programmed cell death of the micro damaged tissues, that is apoptosis, heralding the start of a reversal process. What happens in the reversal phase? These osteoblast precursors are attracted towards the micro damage or the site of resorption. When these are attracted, what does they do? The immature osteoblasts which are attracted here then start converting into differentiating into mature osteoblast and then form a new bone during the formation phase. What happens after the formation? Initially the matrix which was unmineralized but eventually become mineralized to form mature bone. Some osteoblasts become trapped in the bone matrix and differentiate into osteocytes, which play a key regulatory role in coordinating the bone formation and resorption. So this is a picture which is representing the 4 phases of bone remodeling. What happens? This is the quiescent phase, that is the resting phase, that is the normal bone, nothing has happened to it. There is a picture which is showing the micro damage to the bone. When there is a micro damage to the bone, what happens? Osteoclasts are attracted from the blood via chemoprotective factors towards this damaged site. Osteoclasts invade in this micro damaged bone area. What does osteoclast do? They cause the resorption of the bone. When they cause the resorption of the bone, what happens? There will be the programmed cell death of certain cells which are present here. Programmed cell death is referred to as apoptotic osteoclast. Apoptotic osteoclast, what does they do? They start resorbing the damaged bone cells. Now after this resorption, what happens? There is a reflux for the osteoblast attraction, which is referred to as the reversal phase. What happens in this reversal phase? Osteoblasts are attracted from the circulation towards the resorption site. They start forming the new bone cells. When these new bone cells are forming, the osteoclast activity is prohibited. So what happens then? The reversal phase causes osteoblast activation. Osteoblasts start forming more and more bone cells. When there is a formation of the new bone, a structure like this is formed, which is referred to as an osteoid. After this, the mineralization of the bones takes place, and hence the remodeling process comes to an end, and the damage to this bone is being repaired like this. So this is a picture. These are the bone lengthening cells or the quiescent phase. What happens? Micro damage. After micro damage, osteoclasts are attracted. Resorption of the bone starts. What happens in reversal phase? Osteoblasts are attracted towards it. Bone formation takes place, and at the end, the bone has formed, and the osteoid like this is being formed here. At the end, mineralization of the bone takes place, and the normal bone structure will be like this. Now, this is a picture which is representing the cellular and molecular regulators of the bone remodeling. What happens when there is a micro damage? Osteoclast precursors are produced from the hematopoietic stem cells. Hematopoietic stem cells release these osteoclast precursors. These are immature basically. How they are converted into mature cells? Bone marrow stromal cells are there which produce MCSF and RANKL, which we have studied before, are released. They convert this osteocyte precursor into mature osteoclasts, which are then involved in the bone resorption. There is an inhibitor for this RANKL, which is referred to as OPG. Here it represents for osteoprotegrin. What does this osteoprotegrin do? It inhibits RANKL and MCA. When it inhibits the RANKL, what happens? The osteoclast precursor cells are not converted into mature osteoclast. After this osteoclast activity, bone resorption has taken place. When the bone resorption has taken place, the osteoblasts start their activity and they start forming the bone cells. Osteoblasts are how osteoblasts are then formed. Bone marrow stromal cells then produce another family of factors, which is WNT family of proteins, which start the proliferation of differentiation of these osteoblasts, and then osteoblasts result in the formation of a new bone cells. As before, we have studied the function of osteocyte, that it provides a coordination between osteoblast and osteoclast. How does it provide the coordination between these two cells? Osteocyte basically has a substance protein which is sclerostin. SOST represents for sclerostin. What does it do? It does inhibit WNT family. When it inhibits the WNT family, further bone formation other than normal bone formation just stops with this sclerostin. This osteocyte is further involved in the mineralization of the bone. How it is involved in the mineralization of bone? It produces the factor FGF23, which is fibroblast growth factor, which is involved in the renal phosphate excretion. And then what happens when it is involved in the renal phosphate excretion? It is involved in the production of an enzyme which is alkaline phosphatase. And alkaline phosphatase, what does it do? It just degrades the enzyme pyrophosphatase, which is involved in phosphate homeostasis. The picture representation that the osteoclast precursor cells are produced from the hematopoietic stem cells, which are immature, which are converted into mature cells by MCSF and rank L. How rank L is a substance, it is a protein on which is a receptor, has a receptor on which rank binds and causes the differentiation of the bone, and then bone resorption takes place. This rank binding to this rank L receptor is inhibited by a protein, by an enzyme which is known as osteoprotegrin. When the mature osteoclast formation takes place, what does they do? They attach to the bone surface and results in the production of HCl and proteolytic enzymes. Important proteolytic enzyme here is cathepsin K. HCl is involved in mineralization of the bone. It dissolves the bone, and proteolytic enzymes cause the collagen degradation. How does mineralization takes place? Mineralization of the bone is directly dependent on the enzyme, that is alkaline phosphatase, which is produced from osteoblast. It is involved in the degradation of the pyrophosphatase, and which is a potent inhibitor of mineralization. It just is involved in the inhibiting the over mineralization of the bone. Now the cellular and molecular regulator of the bone rebonding has been cleared. Once again, hematopoietic stem cells produce osteoclast precursor cells, which are activated by the rank L or MCSF in their activated form, mature form. What does osteoblast do? They are involved in the bone formation of the cells. Osteocytes provides the coordination between the osteoblast and osteoclast by producing the fibroblast growth factor, which is involved in the phosphate excretion from the body, and it also produces an enzyme which is sclerostin. What does it do? It does inhibit the WNT family of the signaling pathways, which is involved in the activation of the osteoblast. So when does it inhibit this? The further bone formation process does not take place. Thank you.